the work I wanted to do. There were certain scripts I wanted to do Dallas Buyers Club at that time, other scripts. Nobody's going to touch me with a 10-foot pole in those movies. All the dramatic roles I wanted, they're like, no, not with McConaughey, we won't finance it. Okay, so I can't do what I want to do, so I'm going to stop doing what I've been doing. So I stopped doing rom-coms. I said no, stopped.
Stops when you identify it. The pattern only hurts you when it runs unconsciously. The pattern loses all its power over you once you see it. It's gone.
How do you decide on what you want to dedicate yourself to? How do you keep yourself focused on that goal while other opportunities are opening up to you or unforeseen obstacles come up?
Only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, in this year or any other is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game is all about. So life is real short, so you have all your traveling and of all your sleeping and of all your school. Out of all your entertainment, you've probably been half your life doing nothing. So out of 30 years, I might have about 16 years to be productive. So it's how we can all break individual lives now. You've got to completely divorce yourself from this notion of outcome and become completely obsessed with the idea of sincere pursuit. Now, why sincere pursuit? The reason to tie your sense of self, your self-esteem. Why?
Well, for the first 6 months of not doing rom-coms, I wasn't doing anything. Finally, nothing came in. And for 14 more months, nothing came in. I considered other careers. Didn't know if I'd ever work again. But after 20 months of being gone, unbranding as I now call it, being out of sight, not being in your theater or your living room in a rom-com, not seeing me shirtless on the beach, I became a new good idea. I don't know. I haven't seen him. Where has he been? I was kind of refound. So I had to do that for myself. I loved doing the rom-coms, but I was getting the scripts and I felt like I could do the same script tomorrow morning. And I was like, that's fine, but I want something that's going to make me sweat in my boots.
It can't continue to run once you're aware of it, because all of a sudden you're like, I know what I'm doing. Here I go. And you can begin to identify it and make a shift. So this is so critical. Start to ask yourself, am I running one of these patterns? What are some of the ones I typically do that serve me? And what are the ones that don't serve me? And what we do in our life is we compare too much. And so remember this, you're working on your identity, okay? Everybody wears what I would call like a mask, a public mask, or even a social mask. It's the person they present themselves to be. You do it too, I do it as well. It's the person everybody thinks we are. And so it's the person we reveal to the public. It's not whom we really are. It's not our real thoughts, our real behaviors, our real hope. Everybody wears this public mask, or this social mask, I call it, where it's who they want everybody to think they are. It's the best put version of themselves.
I want some work that's going to challenge me, make me go, I'm scared of this role for all the right reasons. And I can't wait to go attack it and see how I come up the other side.
Why seek the role that's hard?
Because it costs me something. Because it costs. It's not really a risk unless you can lose the fight. I feel more alive in them. I have an experience in the making of them. I'm nervous every day I come to work. I feel like when I nail a day and I knock it and I know I did, I feel like, yes. I have a measure at the end of the day, like you set out to do something, you prepared for it, you had intention, and you did it.
There's lots of different ways to interpret the world, and you can maybe even make a case that there's an endless number of ways to interpret the world. And the problem with that is that it kind of disorients you in terms of what you should be doing.
And if you're not careful, you begin to compare your own real identity with other people's public mask. And this begins to create a pattern for you. Don't compare yourself. Most of the people you see on social media, or even in your personal life, or even when you go to lunch with them or see them at work, they're wearing what I would call a public mask. It's the best possible version that they can put out to themselves. And oftentimes what we do in life is we compare our real identity that we're working on and we're growing to their mask. And that's not fair to ourselves at all. Any comparison doesn't serve us. And it's oftentimes this comparison, when you're in a disagreement with somebody, it's the mask they're wearing compared to the identity you have, and then you begin to run a pattern to respond to it. It happens in fitness, in relationships, in money, and in business. Remember, you're in charge of controlling your own identity and growing your own identity and being aware of the patterns you have that do and do not serve you. Not comparing yourself to someone else's public representative.
Your pride, your ego, your identity, all of that, the reason to tie that to sincere pursuit is it's the only part you can control. I cannot promise you that you'll ever be successfully. You cannot promise you that you will be successful but you can promise and know if you actually did it to show up every day and really pursue it. But what do we say? But there'll always be tomorrow. Oh no, there's no guarantees you're going to show up tomorrow. There are a lot of people who were here yesterday that they're not here today. There are a lot of opportunities that were around yesterday. They're not here today. I'm talking about real commitment, not that cheap stuff, right? Not that counterfeit stuff, not that.
Okay, here is how life works. If you're trying to achieve something great with your life, right now, I know exactly what's happening to you. You are metaphorically standing in a room with 1,000 doors. There are many things you're excited about, many things you could do, so many opportunities before you. The hard part isn't finding opportunity. The hard part is standing in a room full of opportunity and knowing out of those 1,000 doors that are open to you, how to close 999 of them and to have the courage to walk through just one. Most people are so dazzled, distracted, so worried that they're going to choose the wrong one that they never step through one. And so my advice to you is just run around closing doors like crazy, walk through one with reckless abandon, knowing
there's going to be times when you're not with anyone else, and you have to be okay with that. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Don't care. Oh, from that perspective, you're definitely lonely at the top. Yeah. There's no one that's going to sit there and do what I'm willing to do to be there. Like, where are you at? I don't know. Haven't seen you, but I'm up here by myself and I'm going to keep getting after it, right? That's kind of the way. That's how people end up in those positions. Yeah. You don't end up in those positions. You don't get gifted positions. You don't just end up. I shouldn't say never, but I didn't. Had to grind it out. Keep grinding it out. This is the difference. I don't look at people in the negative light because they don't get it. I'm fine with it. Like, I recognize that I recognize that I'm not 100% normal, and I'm not, I don't look down. I said this, where did I just get interviewed? Oh, I got interviewed on a Business Insider and he's like, well, do you always keep your discipline? I was like, no, people get out of the SEAL teams and they get fat and they don't care anymore. And it's like, I don't care about that. I'm stoked. That means they're stoked and eating breakfast in bed and they're hanging out with their kids. It's all good.
If I get where I want stuff, not that little boy stuff. I'm talking concrete commitment, the commitment that says, can I stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've said it has left. It's easy to say what you're going to do when you send in these plush seats. And it's AC and you got the words on the wall. There's people out there that don't want to see you do good, as you know. There's people out there that don't want to see you happy, don't want to see you accomplish anything, don't want to see you grow. So you've got to go start your journey. And the journey starts with you finding, why the hell am I here on this planet Earth? Why am I here? If you don't know that you will live the rest of your life searching, always asking the question, why? I'm saying answer your call. The universe is calling you. Here's something about life you can't get out of it alive. Hello, you can't get out of life alive. Live now.
That you can always come back the other side and try something else. And also, if you're young, don't prematurely optimize. Go through a bunch of doors, come back, go in, come back out, go in, come back out. Try a bunch of different things. Find the things that excite you the most. Find the things that the more you engage with it, the more interested you become. If you engage with something and over time it starts to lose interest for you, that's not the right door. If, on the other hand, the more you learn about it, the more you engage with it, the more you're like, man, this is so fun. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for something that gives you more energy than it takes. If it's taking more energy than it gives, this is not the door for you. So you want to find that thing where the more that you engage with it, the more fascinating it becomes. Now, if you do that, and the only thing that you pursue is the thing that's giving you more energy, and again, it's going to give you more energy because there's something innate about it that's fun, and you did what we talked about earlier.
I don't have a negative opinion of them. Just like I don't have a negative opinion of someone that prioritizes things differently than me. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. I get it. And I'm okay. I'm okay with that. And I'm not looking around going, wow, I wish I had more people to hang out with. It's lonely up here. And there was when I was in my first SEAL platoon, we went to Guam. When we got there, there was a guy, and I don't even know who did it. I don't know who this was, but there was a SEAL that left like a surf ski. You know what that is? It's basically like a kayak that you sit on top of. Anyways, and there's just a little note to himself. It said, the higher, the fewer. Yeah. Meaning like, hey, because he was training hard for what, I don't even know who it was. He said the higher, the fewer. So that's the same thing. I don't have an issue with it. That's what I tell kids too, because that's the whole bullying thing is kids get the feeling that being alone is bad. Yeah. Like being alone is not a bad thing. You should be comfortable being alone. Yeah. But if it gets to a point where I'm not okay with it, then I adjust the balance. But you got to be playing the long-term game, not the short-term gratification.
Live your dream now. There's people out there that are threatened by your greatness. They can't handle you. They know they can't compete with you. They know they can't beat you, so their goal or plan is to make you beat you. All the great ones in life, one thing they had was composure, no matter what people do with them. Hate negativity, gossip, drama, rumors, no matter what they do with them, they stay focused on where they were trying to go. No matter what's going on in your life is not permanent, everything is going to change. So there's two things you can do with change. You can react to it, or you can participate in it. It's going to change. Anyway, so if you keep waiting around, you're going to have to react to the change. And now you're behind, but if you participate in the change, if you know the job you have is not going to last forever, when you go to work at every day, it's going to change.